Good evening, everybody. This is CmdrAleon with Encounters, the late night spiritual UFO talk show on a Monday night. Hope you all had a great Labor Day weekend. April, Carria, Terrell, ESH, welcome. April, hey, good to see you. KA Mystery, good to see you. Yvonne, everyone, Natural Whispers, everybody out there. We had a great day too. Thank you, April, for the heart. We appreciate it. Elizabeth Cruz, good to have you with us. Mojo Ryder, welcome to the show. Nanny, hey Nanny. Diane, thank you for the roses. And make sure I've got my goals set up here tonight. And of course, my favorite goal is pinning up the hat and the mustache. We want to make it easy for people to do things here. KP, aka Abolish. Welcome to Encounters, Free Spirit. Stacy, Tars, April, thank you. Amity, thank you. Thank you for the heart, me. I appreciate that very much. Hey, Gary in Iowa. Hope you're doing well. Everybody out there. Thomas Williams. And we are just, it was just a great weekend. We demand full disclosure now. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, ESH. Absolutely. But you know what? Disclosure is not going to come from the governments of the world. It's going to, hey, Chesno, it's going to come from us. We're the ones, this is where disclosure is going to come from. Don't wait for anybody in England or France or Germany or China or Russia or anywhere. We're the ones, we're disclosure. All of you, your disclosure. Mitzi, good to have you with us. Welcome. Hey, brother, good to have you with us. Starlight, welcome. Barbara T, thank you for the heart, me. It's just good to have everybody here. And the show from last night, it's now downloading. It'll be posted probably in a couple, about maybe 15, 20 minutes. Last night's show was phenomenal. And Kai was on the show, Manessa, and we had some great interaction. Lynn, 948, thank you for the roses. We appreciate it. Southern, thank you for the roses. And it's good to have everybody here with us. So welcome. Shinan, Hot Rod, Chronic, welcome to the show. Everyone out there, wherever you are around the world, welcome. Please tap on the screen. When you see the hearts coming up, you're wondering how those hearts are happening. People are tapping, and then you look at the right top corner of the screen, the number's 1.5. That's going to bring my numbers up. So you want to get up to, we want to do 100,000 likes tonight. And also everybody follow everybody for sure. But we want to definitely, the entity. If I caught you at the beginning, I usually, you're doing good. You got me at the beginning. Very good. Bill C., welcome to the show. Wayne, everybody out there. Decon, Scott, welcome. User 504. Mr. Unknown. Southern, thank you for the roses. We appreciate that very much. And no one's missing anything right now. We just got started. We got a train station nearby, and the train is coming through. One train. Left top screen, yep. We like the train station. It's an old one, and the trains come right through. Leon Smith, welcome to the show. Gary, thank you for the roses, brother. I appreciate it. Susie, James, welcome to our show, James. Anna, thank you for the share. Happy Labor Day, definitely to the Star family, everybody out there. Yes, blessed mom, thank you. Southern, thank you for the coin, the W. Sasa, welcome to our show. Yeah, I love the town of trains. We get them, they come through the night, then the freight trains come later at the night. We hear the freight trains. So it's pretty cool. Hi, Pammy, Tyson, Henry, 344, welcome. I see some new names here. Jamie, welcome. Nia, welcome, Nia. Laura, welcome to our show. Big Bacon, welcome to Encounters. Puppet Hyper, welcome. That's a good name. Cleo, thank you for the share. Howard, welcome to Encounters. For folks that are just coming in here for the first time, this is actually a actual UFO spiritual talk show. And I am Tahar. Hey, Gold, thank you. Thank you for that. So this is an actual UFO talk show. Nature's Whispers, good to see you, brother. This is an actual UFO talk show of the spiritual kind. So we talk to people that are contactees. We did that last night with Kai. Had a terrific story that's on my YouTube channel. Astro Command Spaceship News on YouTube. Nia, thank you for the hand heart. I appreciate it very much. Your support that way. Thank you so much. And so we get into really deep things here. We don't just talk about, was the UFO made out of metal or was it made out of plastic? I don't care about that. As I'm the kind of talk show host that wants to interview people that are having real experiences, people that are having encounters with visitations with space people. I've had people that have been abducted on my show since I started in 2023. I talk about disclosure. I've got people that come on here and share top secret information at times, and they know they can come here and do it. And so this is the kind of program where you're going to get more information than 10,000 other places in the world, in YouTube or Discovery or History Channel. You'll get it here. Hey, James, welcome to the show. Yeah, it's true, James. We are now being contacted, and they are showing themselves. So people are being contacted individually. Look for that to increase in 2025. You're going to see a lot more stuff going on. And I would probably say in 2025, this is going to be even more of a galactic clearinghouse of people coming on my show that are being contacted and visited by space people. And as we amp up into 2025, you're going to see a lot of it happening really quickly. Double Donkey, is the space being contacted right now? Well, Double Donkey, the space people, which are from different planetary systems. Oh, it's a space station being contacted right now. Well, space station, its video recording device on the ISS space station has totally captured spaceships or UFOs on its camera, and NASA would cut the feed, the transmission feed. This has been done for many years. So yeah, they already know about this stuff. And let's see here. Blessed Mom says, I think I caught a triangle craft today behind clouds. Going to post it on my TikTok page. I'll have to take a look at it. I'll definitely examine that for sure. The space people are not working with the government. The ones that were working with the government for over 70 years were the reptilians and the Zeta that were abducting human beings. They were working with a secret level of our government, but that is now being stopped. Hey, Monica, good to see you. Monica, let's see here. Okay, so Nature Whisperer says, they let me record them, now they're letting me show them, which is shocking. Debrana, thank you for the share. Good to see you, Debrana. Let me see. Hey, let's see. We got just Young Skywalker. Good to see you as well. Jennifer, thank you for the roses. And we haven't even begun, folks. You know, we haven't even started getting into what we're going to get into. We have plenty of time. We have 2 hours. We're going till 1 a.m. in the morning. A 2-hour edition of Encounters tonight. Peace, love, and light to you as well, brother. Glenn Bullman, welcome to the show, Glenn. Suzanne, welcome. King Vavid, is it? Nasty Insectoid Disinfo Agent? Who's that? Who's the nasty Insectoid Disinfo Agent? Can you elaborate? Let's see what they say. Suzanne, welcome. Rodney, welcome to the show. Nora, One Toyota, thank you, brother, for the roses. Let's see here. Kimmy Styles Z, welcome. Darcy Selman, welcome to the show. Vendetta Graphics, welcome. Patriot Nanny, Big Willie, hey, Big Willie, Pam Walker Lewis. See all these new names coming here. You're watching Encounters, Hector Clubbing, welcome. Commodore, thank you for the follow. Katie something. FSV, welcome to our show. Jerome, everyone coming in here, you're watching Encounters. Hey, Cosmic Christie, good to see you. This is an actual UFO spiritual talk show. I'm also on WESU Radio, NPR Pacific Radio, Sunday mornings, 11:30 to 1. Red Sonja, did you go up the ship the other night? Not yet. We'll be going, the group of us here, there's a group of 4 of us here in the region that will be going on the ship physically, probably, I would have to say sometime between anywhere now to early next year, or 2025. but we all know we're going up. We just don't know when. Because, hey, Whispers, good to see you. Welcome. So, good question. We will definitely be. We're all patiently waiting, patient about it. We all know what's going to happen. CJ, welcome. Whispers, thank you for the chili. And so we're all prepared. Thank you for the question, Red Sonia. Hey, Mish, good to see you. And we got good lighting going on here on the broadcast, so don't expect me to. I brought in a big light, and it made the difference, so I don't fade out and go dark after I have an interview with somebody. So welcome to our show. If you are a person have had real experiences recently, having visitations by star people, or what we call space beings of the positive kind, and you're having physical contact, please let me know. You can make it in your comments here. I want to know any new people that are actually having contact. Don't be afraid to tell your story here. You have to have over 50 people, I think it is, for the audio, over 600 for coming on live with your video camera. Yeah, aaro.mil has gone dark. Interesting. I haven't been on their website. So what's happened with their the Pentagon's website? They stopped posting things. You see, I think that here's the deal. If the Pentagon's UFO website went dark and is down, can you tell me a little bit more about that? Good, Jared. You'll definitely get there, brother, for sure. I'm very interested to know. Oh, they're not found anymore on the web? Oh, there's no website for them. That's really interesting. And blessed mom, you caught a triangle craft today behind the clouds. I'll have to take a look at that. I will. When I'm off the live here, I'll take a look at that, Brahma. Thank you for sharing that. Because if they did go down and they're not coming back up, there's something going on within the Pentagon. Amity, thank you for the lightning bolts and the chili. And I've always felt when they came up with their website on UFO disclosure at the Pentagon that was a ruse. That I just didn't ever feel comfortable that they were gonna spill the beans. It was just to kind of like patronize humanity and say, okay, UFO people, here's a few things here. We'll dangle in front of you, and there you go. And ever since they started that site, there was never any real new things on there. Yeah, they wanted this. They wanted essentially slow disclosure down. Hey, Greta, exactly right, Miss Fish. Dr. Robert Duncan. James, thank you for the information. Isabel says, I've noticed a lot of changes in business and choice of menus. I'm not sure what that's about. I don't know what that would do with the UFO stuff. Let's see here. Let's see. So to be a guest on the show, and you're a new person out here, what I like to do, I have a protocol of interviews. And I do that on my radio show. I have a certain protocol for 21 years on my show, which is every Sunday on NPR Pacific Radio. If you've had any experiences, comment here in the comment section of the live here. Tell me that you can tell me I've been a contactee with star people. I've had physical contact. I've met them in the desert or whatever, that kind of thing. You have to be over 18. No kids on the show, no smoking, no cursing, no vaping, no drugs, no drunks, no paranormal discussion. That's basically the premise. And again, if you read the title of the show, it's Encounters UFO Contact. We're talking about everything related to this whole thing. It could be that you were taken into the inner earth and had an experience like that. It could be that you had an experience at one of the pyramids. And also no religion, no politics. Yeah, definitely Miss Mish. Thank you. Emily says, in my room at night in the dark, I was wide awake and sober. What happened, Emily? No, we're not talking politics here, Charleston Woods. No politics. No Trump. No anybody. No Earth-based politics. No, this is not a political program. No politics. I saw a floating orb and moving light. Hey, Shell Bell, good to see you. Emily, I'm going to bring you up here as my first guest. Yeah, and if we have any people coming in here with politics for a candidate, I will mute you as host of the show. Okay, let's see here. So I'm going to bring Linda Lou says, how could I increase my chances of having contact? Download the C5 app from Dr. Stephen Greer. If you have an iPhone, download it on Apple. It's like $10. If you have a Android phone, download it on Android. It's like $10. There's a protocol of information how to do this. There's certain sound techniques. If you download that app, you can begin to learn how to do and have visual contact with the starships or the spaceships of light. I'm going to bring up Emily. She'll be our first guest. And we're going to see. I'd love to hear your story, Emily. And you're watching Encounters. Let me bring the lighting a little more here.
How Hi, you doing, Emily? I'm fine. Good. How are you?
Good. For some reason, I don't know what's going on with my TikTok thing here, but my headphones are. Give me 1 second. I need to get something hooked up here.
No problem.
So I got my earbuds working. Let's see. Okay, that's weird. Well, we're not going to worry about that now. I think I lost my power on my earbuds. But anyway, so tell us a little bit about yourself and when these things started happening.
Yeah, so I have never had any like contact experiences or anything like that. I have had spiritual experiences throughout my life, just being sensitive to things. This happened many years ago, and I was lying in the dark at night. I was completely awake. I had just gone to bed in the sense that I had just done my routine. I wasn't even tired yet. Like, that's how awake I was. And I lied down in bed. It was completely in the dark. I was sober. And I felt like, and I had just watched a horror movie by myself, which doesn't help, like an hour before. So I was lying in the dark at night, and I was lying on the side, like on my right side. So I wasn't facing my wall in my room, if that makes sense. I was lying on my side, and I was like, I feel like there's a presence in this room. And before I even looked over, I just sensed it. And then when I turned to look over, center facing like the back wall of my room, I saw this floating orb that was shimmering. It was weird because it was like a ball of light, but it didn't project light onto the walls or anything. Like it just was this translucent kind of shimmery rainbow light, but it was just bizarre. It blew my mind because I had never seen anything like that on Earth, like any kind of moving light like that. So that always stuck with me, and I always think about that whenever I'm in doubt of anything. I'm like, oh, what did I see that day?
You know, and what's interesting about your story is it sounds like these lights, these orbs were beautiful, correct?
Yeah, it really was. It was almost like a rainbow looking effect, but it was moving too. That's what was interesting. It was like moving and shimmering and kind of floating there. And then the second I turned my lamp on, because it kind of freaked me out, and then when I turned my lamp on, it was gone. But yeah, it was really pretty to look at.
Interesting. And when they were in your room, correct?
Yeah.
And originally, what can you just reflect back on the date and the timing of this? I'm trying to read into it more.
Yeah. This was, wow, I wish I could remember the exact year, but I must have been maybe, hmm, like 17 at the time. I'm 25 now. So it was maybe like in like 2018 or 2019, something like
Okay.
that. So a few years ago now, and it was probably like 11:30 at night, 11 o'clock at night. It
Okay.
wasn't
Wow.
too
Okay.
late. Yeah, and I was home alone that day, which I know
Home
I've read a lot of
alone.
like Dolores
Wow.
Cannon, and I'm very interested in this topic of ufology and everything. And I've read about a lot of cases where people are alone and then
Yes.
things happen to them. So
Yep.
that I think was interesting.
Well, the fact that you were home alone, which I didn't know, and these orbs, these colorful rainbow type orbs came into your room. Well, when they, when they came in the room, did they come through the window, through a wall? How did
Hmm.
they come in?
So it didn't even come in. Like when I was turned on my side, I just felt like something was there. And then when I turned to look at it, it was already there. So I didn't
Yeah.
see how it entered my room. I
Yeah.
didn't see it come through a door or window. It was just there, like
Just
just
there. Yeah.
right there in my room floating.
It could have just popped in. It might have just popped in the room without
Hmm.
coming from anything. It could have been, it came into this dimension of existence from another dimension.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. And
It was
so
weird.
since that happened to you, tell me, have you had any other experiences, or was that the beginning of something else happening?
I've had medium like experiences. Like I've given people readings and had dreams of things happening and things like that, but I've never had another
Yeah,
ET experience, or I've
yeah,
had like very vivid ET like dreams, but
yes.
I've never seen anything like that. Or I kind of have wished for it a little bit. Like I
Mhm.
have the C5 app or whatever it's called on my phone. I
Yes.
haven't done it yet.
Well, do you
Um
feel when you say, and this is interesting, I also include cosmic dreams as being real. So you said you
yes.
had vivid dreams of ETs. Can you explain what they
Mhm.
look like?
Yeah, so I agree actually. I think these are very like either other dimensional experiences or in the future either one, but the dream that I do remember is like I was on some kind of craft with these beings. I wish I remembered what they looked like, but they had some kind of cloak dress thing on and they
Hmm.
were speaking another language, and it was this really, I love learning languages. So that stuck with me because it was a really interesting sounding language, and I spoke it fluently with them and they were giving me orders. And then I remember meeting up with my mom in the dream, and then I was like, "Mom, let me show you this language that I remember that I was speaking with them." And I started to formulate the word, but I was already forgetting. And I remember thinking, that's how quickly you forget these
Yeah,
things.
yeah, you do. And what's interesting as you continually talk about
Yeah,
this,
light language, someone said. Mhm.
I believe that they were spiritual beings of light. They were probably tall, about 8 feet tall,
Mhm.
maybe 8.5 feet, men and women.
Yeah.
They probably spoke to you in their own language, which is not English. They probably could speak English if they were talking to people on Earth, but they speak in their own language, or they're speaking in some language. And how many of those vivid dreams did you have? Only one, or did more?
Oh. There probably has been more than one, but that's the only one I remember vividly.
Okay.
Yeah, and then at one point the craft had like dropped us off in what looked like Switzerland, which I think is also really interesting because I've read a lot about like ET and UFO activity in colder places like Switzerland and places with
Okay.
high
Yeah.
activity. And yeah, that's the one dream that really stuck with me because of all those things, but I can't remember one vividly
How
that was
would you
similar.
like to? How would you like to let me work with you, and how would you like to remember and also make contact with them
In what way?
in communicating telepathically to start?
Like right now on the live?
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, I've done this. If you knew my live, I'm with the Ashtar Command. I'm actually from Mars originally, with 10 to 15 million inhabitants. I'm
Hmm.
in a group of 5 people. I've been a contactee since the '60s. When I was a kid, I had a spaceship sighting in a cul-de-sac, and there were men and women and older teenager type people in light blue outfits. So I've met
Wow.
at an early age my star family, but I didn't know that they told me. I don't. They only showed me themselves physically once, I might have had over the many years maybe going out of body on ships, but I never remember anything. But now I'm a lot different. I do have clarity. So what I do is I've been on the mission for a lot of years, on the mission of the disclosure. I'm a star seed, and I know where I come from. And I also do this show. I do my radio show for 21 years, which is a Ashtar Command show called Cosmic Eye Ashtar Command Radio. But this is a show I've been doing since 2023. And I've been I've helped people with abductions. I've actually, in your case, when I hear stories like that where you don't have a lot of clarity of the memory, all I'm doing is saying, if you'd like, I'm willing to assist you in opening up the blockage so that you can at least start on a gentle thing of telepathic communications with them, like a two-way. Like you and I are talking, you would talk to them in your consciousness.
Yeah.
It's a very subtle way of doing it, and it's all positive. It's all beautiful. Anyone in my audience can tell you what I've done. If you look at the comments, people have seen me do this. Every one of my shows that I do this kind of thing, everything's documented, and I don't use pendulums or crystal balls or blinking neon lights. Everything I do is real. I've been very active.
Yeah, no, I would love to have you tap in and see what you feel.
I'm going to hook up something to my earpods to get them to work. I'll be right back, everybody. Just give me a second. Okay, I am back. I'm just plugging in my charger for my earpods, which I think will work once these are charged up. All right. But anyway, for now, let me just do this. And I think we're in pretty good shape. Okay. So the way we're going to do this, and thank you, Peaceful, for the roses and everybody. I appreciate that. Give me one moment. Excuse me. I got to have a drink of my apple cider. Tahar. I have to say the word Tahar when I get the hat with the mustache. It's a thing. All right. So what we're going to do is I want you to close your eyes. What we're going to do is a little bit of a breathing exercise. Essentially, when you breathe in through your mouth, you breathe out through your nostrils. Just breathe in a few times until you're relaxed. Sassafras, thank you for the roses. The many roses, thank you. And so when you're ready, just relax, turn your mind off, your thinking off, and as soon as you're relaxed, let me know.
Should I lie down for this or seated, or does it matter?
It doesn't matter. Okay. You know what? It's up to you. Whatever you feel comfortable doing.
Yeah. Sounds good.
All right. And so we'll start now. And when you're ready, let me know.
Okay.
And to let people know who are watching what I do here for the first time, I am from Mars originally. I'm a star seed, meaning my star family is within the Ashtar Command. The Ashtar Command has monitoring screens on their ships. They're watching our show right now. Whether one believes it or not doesn't matter to me. But they do have monitor screens, and they always watch my show on the spaceships, and they're watching the show tonight. I'm pretty sure my parents are watching the show on the ship too. So I just want to give you some background on how this show works. It's not just people on TikTok watching it. My space family is watching it as well on monitoring screens. Hectic, thank you for the gimme. I appreciate the gifts. And we're going to get started. You let me know when you're ready, and I will.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready.
So what I'm going to do, everybody, I'm going to switch my consciousness. Now, I work in multi-conscious realities here. I work in cosmic Christed consciousness. which is with my Ashtar Command consciousness. So I'm going to switch my consciousness over, and I'm going to do something that's going to allow you to have clear communications with these space people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And as I do this, let me just get centered here just a little bit more. In a moment, I'm going to send a activational beam of light in through your head. It will be very soothing. You'll feel some sort of a warmth of energy in a minute or two or less. I use both palms of my hand. That's where they activated it recently. I'm working strictly on your brain area. That's the main area. When you start feeling something, let me know.
Yeah, I do feel like a tingling, a bit of a
Yes,
heaviness.
yes, yes. I'm now putting some light energy into your brain. I'll find the blockage. We're going to unlock the blockage area. We're going to clear the blockage in your consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
I'm elevating your conscious level to where they are, the space people. So you'll be elevated at their vibrational level of consciousness where you'll be able to communicate with them through the telepathic way.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be very easy once you do this, once we get this cleared. But my father gave me this ability to do. We're sending nothing over there. I'm doing this myself physically, everybody. I'm doing this with the palm of my hands remotely from my location to where she is. How do you feel right now?
Good, really calm, very light. Definitely feel that heightened vibration in the room.
Yep. I'm also working not only on you, but I'm also clearing all residual energy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also clearing the energy and amping up the frequency of light in your room, even higher than it is now.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in the next few nights, once I'm finished, you can practice your communications with them, the space people, and I believe you'll have telepathic communications. They'll be able to speak English to you, so they'll be able to communicate with you in the English language.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Shell Bell. And you'll be able to intercommunicate with them through a telepathic level, and then eventually, instead of in the dream state, which is not really the dream state, they will at some point, when you're both ready for it, both they, the space people, and you, when you feel comfortable, they're going to want to physically introduce themselves to you at some point.
Yeah, that's something I've always wanted to experience. I've never been afraid of that.
No, you have no fear. You're a person that has no fear whatsoever. Okay, now I'm going to do something where you're going to feel the energy vibration So in a moment, if you keep your eyes closed, you're going to feel some sort of pulsation energy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how do you feel?
I feel good. I feel clear. I definitely feel like a vibe in the room, like a vibration. Yeah.
Yes. What I did is I amplified the whole room, and also at the same time of the amplification of light energy into the room, I also worked on your brain area, and now you have no blockage. You'll be able to clearly communicate with the space people. The first thing you want to ask them is what planetary system are they from? When you do the telepathic communications, ask them what planetary system are they from, and ask them always ask them obviously I don't feel anything negative, but always to just assure yourself of who you're communicating with. Ask them if they are Christed beings of light, space
Mm-hmm.
people, and
Yeah.
they should give you a clear answer. And then after that, ask them more about their planet, and also ask them what is your connection to them. Those are going to be some of the key questions you'll want to ask them when you're going into meditation at night. You
Yeah.
can do that for maybe a 30-minute meditation with them. You can start doing that on a regular basis. I don't know that it will be instantaneously the first night or tonight, but I do believe you will have communications with them in a couple of nights, or you will be. But you're going to be the one to facilitate it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm definitely going to keep myself open to it and on that vibration. And I've been meaning to get more into meditation anyway, like deep meditation. So, yeah,
My
it's
friend
great.
Kai, who was on my show last night, she's saying that your communications with the star people will be within 3 days.
Yeah.
She was on my show last night, and she is a telepathic communicator. And we were talking to one of the space people on her ship, and they're saying you'll be contacted telepathically within 3 days.
Is it like Arcturian or anything that you pick up on?
Um, I know they're tall, they're human. I just don't know which star system they're from. Kai is
Mm-hmm.
watching the show. The space people watch my show on the ship. Kai, do you have any most active? Most activations for not instant. They take 3 days to see effects on them. Kai, can you ask your connections telepathically what her connection is that she's going to have? I get the feeling it's Arcturian and one other galactic grouping of space people. Kai, she's in our audience here, and she's totally in communications. See, yes, Arcturian,
Yeah,
and you're going to be
Palladian.
Arcturian Palladian. Yes, I knew Arcturian. I wasn't sure what the other one was. Thank you.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me actually that much. And I've felt like a closer connection to them more recently too, like reading about them and the word popping into my mind. So, yeah.
Yeah, Divine Angel. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
that's
Thank
it. I
you.
knew the Arcturians, but I didn't know who the other group of star people were. You're going to have some beautiful interactions in the next few nights, and I also think once you start getting a better relationship with the Arcturians and the Palladians, you can ask them, are you in a remote area? Or are you in a big city? Where are you?
I'm in California. I'm in a city.
You're in a city. The contact you're going to have with them, they will tell you where to go. When you get out of a city, are you near any mountains or desert areas?
Yeah. Yeah, both.
You have both desert and mountain, correct?
Yeah. And beach.
I'm going to give you this message I'm getting for you. You're to meet them in a remote area that has a good road that's paved. It'll be in a desert area on a clear
Okay.
night. You can bring if you have a friend or two you can bring that are not afraid. Do you have any people that you feel comfortable with?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
you are to bring 1 or 2 people with you that are open. They have to be open. They can't be afraid. And you're going to go to a desert area. I don't know where this desert area is, but in this desert area, they will tell you, the space people, once you give it some time, you're going to have some conversations with the space people, but they will tell you where they want to meet you. They'll know what the desert area is, and they will meet you. And I believe they will be able to land the ship without being noticed in the desert area, even though it's going to be a main paved road. There's not much traffic on it. So this road, for some reason, wherever it is, there's a road somewhere outside your city that has not that much traffic. Do you know where that is?
Well, it's interesting because we were going to do a hiking trail that's in kind of a desert-like area, but it's still a popular hiking trail. But there are roads on it that are like a little more quiet, and that's still
Yes.
within the city. So, yeah, that's really, really interesting.
Yeah. So yes, I already knew this. There's the desert area outside the city, and there's a road not very well traveled, where when you get this together with the space people, let me know what happens after you have this happen. But I think first off is your telepathic communications with the Arcturians and also the Palladians. I feel that they can both show up with their ships, and I believe their ships they won't be coming with big ships at all, obviously. But I believe when this thing happens in the desert for you, that they will come off the ship and you'll get to meet them.
Yeah,
After
that
you
would be
get it.
really interesting.
Yeah,
It would be interesting.
you're going to meet them.
I have felt like a lot of changes have been going on in my life and like, yeah, shifts. So,
Yeah. No, I'm tuned into you like unbelievably, and you're definitely going to meet them.
yeah, yeah. Well, thank you for your meditation. That's powerful and really, really interesting. And I look forward to hearing more contactee stories and
Well,
sharing
you're
them
a
here.
blessing. Your story, the little bits you gave me, and the dream that you told me about gave me the information. I always tune into people on their stories, and I get information. And oh, what's going on here? Are you still there? Good. I thought I lost you for a minute. What happened? Did you just go on pause?
No, no, I'm here.
All right, that was weird, folks. Um, I'm not going to say something because I want to get a. I was going to say, if the space people are communicating with Emily, can you? No, I better not do this. I was going to say, can you make her microphone put on pause? I know I shouldn't do this. It better not happen. Good. All right. It might have been just a glitch in the TikTok. So there you go. I've had weird things happen here on the show, and not in a negative way. Just things happen. So yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm glad you're here. I think your story was fantastic. I can't wait to see what happens, in the next 2 or 3 weeks. But I do believe you will have some sort of interactive verbal contact telepathically, and you and the space people will figure out when and where they want to meet in the desert. They'll know the deserts. They've been there before, and many moons ago. They will know what desert area it is, and they will meet you there.
Yeah, really, really interesting. I look forward to it.
Yeah. Hey, Emily, thank you for being here, and
Thank
thank you for
you.
finding my show. We're on usually at 11 o'clock at night, and this is the #1 spiritual UFO talk show on social media. So I really thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Well, it's been a blessing. Thank you. Let me
Thank
take
you.
Emily
You
down
too.
here. And she's our first guest. And that was just a beautiful thing. Hey, Kit Kat, everybody out there. Good to have you with us. And I'm just taking a look here. Lightworker 111. We're going to bring Lightworker up here. That's a beautiful name. That'll be our second guest on the #1 spiritual UFO talk show. We have Lightworker. Good evening. How are you?
Hello.
How are you? Where are you located?
I am in Oregon, actually.
Oh, great. Well, welcome to the show. We glad. This is the first time you watch the show?
Absolutely.
Oh, great. Well, this is the place to be. This is where a lot of stuff's going on. I'm glad to have you with us. So tell us a little bit about yourself, our audience, who you are, and tell us what's going on.
Okay, well, I am very intrigued by you, and I have some questions. But me, I guess you can say I read energy. I haven't really had any contact with any beings of any other planets or anything like that, and I've always wanted to, and I've always been interested in it. And what I mean by I read energy is I do tarot, but I feel like I do tarot more for show. I just know when people ask me a question, I know the answer, but I read tarot for more details on how I'm feeling. So I don't know how to explain that. It's like
Right.
intuitively I know things and I don't know how I know or why I know, but you intrigue me very much. And I'm very, very, very interested in what you're doing because I have astro traveled accidentally numerous times. I've had some really weird encounters, but I don't know how I've astro traveled. It was never intentional or on purpose. But yeah, I don't really know how to get in contact with anything or anyone of any other, realm or planet or anything. So please
Now, when you
help.
see astral travel, one of the things I look at, because I'm actually from Mars originally. I've been a contactee since the '60s. I've told the story again just to give some background who are new to the show. When in the 1960s, I went upstairs. I was in a cul-de-sac. My parents and my brother were downstairs, and I was a kid. I went upstairs for no reason at all. Go to my brother's room, open the wooden shades, and there is this flying saucer with windows and a energy field going up and down like going crazy. And I see human beings that are very beautiful with light blue spacesuits on, and they're looking at me. And the last thing they said, which I never forgot, even till this day, that I'm not from Earth and I am part of their family, meaning I'm part of a galactic family wherever they came from. I've had many sightings. I've had sightings of ships that are back in the 80s, 2 football fields in length. I watched for 35 minutes before they had TikTok and Facebook. And so I am very well activated. Also am from the Astro Command. So I came here as a star seed when I was a kid, but I didn't know, you're a kid, you don't know like a name Ashtar. You're just a kid. I went to high school, college, did all the things kids do and had a normal life. But I also had things happen with these sightings and my contact as a kid that changed my perception of reality of just being an Earth-based kid going to school, So you come to the right place. I am very, very activated. My parents are on a spaceship, which I'm going to be meeting soon. Their 2 sisters, my brother, mother, and father, are on a big spaceship.
Wow, that is very amazing that you even know all of that.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I'm very intrigued because, like I said, I used to try to astral project and it never happened. I feel like recently I haven't been, I always somewhat meditate before I go to sleep, but never intentionally astral project. And there's only a couple times where I've remembered it. Some other times, not necessarily remembered, but I felt that I was somewhere. But other than that, I don't remember dreams very often. Yeah.
But if you want to focus, and there's not much I have to do here, just give you some directions. Before you go astral projecting, you can control where you astral project to. People watching this, you can do this too. So if you want to astral project on a cosmic level to your star family, we call it the Merkaba state. Merkaba state is like astral projecting, but it's a Merkaba state where you go out of your body into a Merkaba. It's like a living ship. You're like a mini living ship in human form. You leave your body. And I've done that in the Merkaba state for many years. I've taught people how to do the Merkaba state of travel. So if you want to use the we call astral traveling, before you astral travel, put yourself into a position of saying very, very clearly, I'm a Christed being of light. I wish to travel tonight and connect with my star family of Christed space people from the planet which I come from. So you're being very disciplined when you say that, people. And anybody here can practice this.
Okay.
And what we're going to do is before you go to sleep, like some people will say, before I go to sleep, I meditate for 30 minutes. Some people do. So whenever that time space is that you have to allow yourself to sit there quietly with nothing around you, you can project that thought into consciousness and make that a reality. It might take some time to do it. I'm not saying it's going to happen like instantaneously, but if you put the practice into that, you can actually decide where you want to go. So look at the human body as a spaceship. You have the ability in your spaceship of your Merkaba state to travel anywhere in the universe. You just have to figure out where you're going and know where you're going. And if people are able to figure that out, so for example, you definitely have a star family somewhere in the universe. I don't know who it is, but I know you definitely have a star family. Now you yourself can connect with that star family by doing what you're doing, but focusing on a specific purpose. So just astral travel, and not remember, it could be just because you're just astral traveling. But if you're in a Merkaba state, leaving your body, you're now enveloping a living ship in the physical body, like the light body within your own body turns into a ship, kind of like a human conscious ship. And you are now traveling beyond Earth to where your star family is. Now, I don't know where that is, but your inner spirit, your inner guidance, your light body will take you there. Everybody has a light body. Everybody here in this audience, whether you know it yet or not, you do have a light body within your body. Some people call it the higher self.
Yeah.
All right. And the higher self can take you to your star family. You have to learn how to operate the ship. The ship is within you. See, this is this tricky thing. People don't realize this. They're waiting for a ship to come and visit them, but you can be the ship consciously that goes and visit your star family for the first time. You just have to remember how to do it. And I do know how to do this. And this is simply doing what you call astral projection or Merkaba state. Just focus on the intention of what you wish to do. And if you have an inkling, let me ask you a question. If you were to think about, what planetary system you came from, or where you feel closest in terms of what you've known about knowledge of planetary systems, who do you think your star family is? You must have a feeling. I mean, you must have some sort of a connection or feeling with some sort of star being or star.
The only things that come to my mind immediately are like Saturn or Venus.
Okay, so there you go. So you have a connection with Saturn or Venus. Now, it could be a Venus on another vibrational level and also Saturn, either on this particular dimension or a slightly different dimension. So go with those two thoughts, Venus and Saturn. Now, obviously, the Venusians do exist, but they're in a slightly higher vibrational frequency. The Saturn people live on Saturn in this dimension, but there's also Saturn is in another slightly different vibrational pattern. So, Kai is saying Saturn, no Venus. So you have a connection with Saturn.
Okay.
Kai is no less like she's a telepathic communicator. She's really good, and she's saying Saturn. So then focus on Saturn.
Okay.
And what I would do is when you focus on Saturn, you can go and control your brain. So what you're going to do is control your brain. You're going to say, I'm going to travel tonight in my Merkaba state in a Christed level of light around my body, and I'm going to travel to Saturn. And I'm going to meet my Saturnian star family from Saturn. Now, it might be Saturn in this dimension, or it could be Saturn in a slightly higher vibrational pattern, because there are multiple Earth realities, there's multiple Venusian realities, there's multiple Saturn realities, Martian realities, so on and so forth, in every solar system, every galaxy in the multiverse. So hey Kai, thank you. And I think you can start this meditation tonight or this week.
Absolutely.
Do you understand what I'm saying? You can use higher vibrational music, like ambient music on YouTube if you want.
Yeah.
Use that music to put your senses into a peaceful state, and then practice doing this. Like I said, it's not going to be instantaneous, but it will happen, and then let me know what happens.
I will do. Thank you.
Yeah, your energy is really good. You have good energy. You'll be able to do this.
Yeah, thank you. I'm really good at reading energy. I just have never, I think it started with learning what an empath was about 6 years ago. And then from there, I've just learned how to read energy, but not necessarily anything beyond this dimension.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we're all, there's dimensions on the same levels of dimensions and
Yeah.
consciousness, but like, like 4D, 3D.
You know, you don't even need the tarot cards. All you need to do, the cards make you feel comfortable. What I'm getting from the Astro Command, my space family, they're saying you don't need the cards. Use your intuition. You're already activated within you. The cards are just something to hold in your hand. You know
Yeah.
yourself. You don't need those cards, right?
No, I don't at all. I feel like it's more people. I literally had someone come into my live the other day and they're like, "You're not even reading the cards." And I said, "Well, honestly, I don't really need to." But how do you explain that to people? So I feel like I do it more for them, but I sometimes when I feel certain things, I do use them for elaboration on what I'm
Yeah.
feeling. But
Well,
like
for
you're
now,
right.
I'm getting is try not using the cards a little bit. Try changing slowly over from the cards to not using them, and just tell them what you're getting directly on your inner level, and they'll accept that. Also, Kai says you also have connections to the Andromeda star system, which is beautiful.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So you got some homework here for you.
Sure do. Thank you.
And I'm following you too now, so I want to thank you for being on here. And we're on 11 o'clock at night most nights. Once in a while, the commander takes a break just to get a human. I have to regenerate my energy with all the work I'm doing on here. So yeah, but I'm mostly on at night at
Are
this
you
time.
on East Coast time?
East Coast time, yeah.
Okay. So for you, it is, what time do you normally off
I'm
at?
on from 11 to 1 a.m. in the morning, 2-hour show.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. I'm happy I found you and came across you. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, we're happy to have you with us. So just you keep watching. All my shows, by the way, are on my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is Astro Command Spaceship News. My interview with Kai is on there right now. I just posted it earlier tonight. So for people that are seeing Kai in the comment section, she was on my show. Great guest, and I'll definitely be having her on again for sure. Sassafras, thank you for the paper crane. So I want to just thank you, Lightworker, for asking me questions and coming up here. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All
Have
right.
a good night, guys.
All right, we're going to bring her down very slowly. There we go. And this is what we do on our show. If you're new to the show, we do interviews. We don't have Tahar Karen 82. That happens. I used the Tahar thing. There's a really funny story with the Tahar. That's how it started. Susan Mary, thank you for joining us. Recording of the one. Teresa Ann says, I got a quick recording of the one an hour ago. It looked like a shooting star so fast. Interesting. And let's see here. And we're going to do some more interviews too. So if you wish to come up, you must be over 18. You must not have any kids on the show. No vaping, no smoking, no drinking, no drunks, no cursing, no kids, no religion, no politics, no paranormal discussion. I think I covered everything. Tahar Jersey. I think I did that Tahar pretty good, Jersey. I have a cosmic dream. Oh, she does. We'll bring her up if I can get her up here. Let me see here. So Kai is in the audience. We're going to bring her up. Some people saying she's got the videos to show us here on the show. And we'll see if she can run her camera. Let's see here. Where is she here? She might have the videos. I think she has to have 600 followers to go on video, though. She's just shy of 600. So I'm going to have people follow her. That's what it is. It's the... Okay, everybody follow her. I think she has to have over 600 followers. She's just close to 600. So if you're watching the show here, follow her. Kaiashani. She's got the videos. We had her on last night. So she's got videos of the space stuff here. Let me see. But we want to get her up to 600. So we have to get her up to 600. I'm going to bring her on. Let's see if she can get the, is her mic, hey, Kai, hey, you do have the video.
Yes, I have it.
You're
I
on
noticed
camera.
first thing this morning it said I could go live now. I was like, oh, thank you, everybody.
It's a blessing. We did it for you last night. That it came through. We're so glad to have you on here live. And you're like a lot of people who really loved you on the interviews last night because you're real, you're authentic, and you have something that's really happening. And you have the videos that you want to show us too, correct?
Yes, let me pull them up now. I was on my computer, but I couldn't find the buttons to where to send to request to join, so I had to switch to my phone. So let me pull it up on my computer.
Well, this is high up great energy. Look at her. She's got this energy like a star person with her eyes and everything. You can tell that she's not from Earth.
Yeah, definitely not from Earth.
Yeah, no, you're definitely not from Earth.
Do we have anybody that has been that was from Hadar on here? I never hear anybody talking about Hadar.
Hadar.
Mm-hmm. The Hadarians. Do you know the Hadarians?
No, I've never heard of the Hadarians.
Really? Okay. Well, it is a dying planet now, but it still actually exists, in time and space. But it's actually, I created that planet, is what Yeshua said. But so all the love from that goes throughout the whole entire galaxy radiates out from Hadar. And it was like true paradise. If you ever meet somebody that has lived there, you just see it in their face when you even mention the word, they're dying to go back home, and then joy fills over them. It's beautiful.
Wow. Yes. Interesting.
All right, I'm pulling it up now. I'm gonna go ahead and turn my phone around.
And welcome all the people to the show. If you're just tuning in and just found the show, you found the best show on the internet right here.
Yes. And the best people on here, too. I mean, everybody's been messaging me nonstop since last night. They are all amazing. Everybody on here. I'm blessed to have found you guys for real. Okay, so this is going to be the first picture. All right, hopefully you guys can see it good on here. I am doing it from my camera. Oh, God. Yeah, my computer's not as good. But this was a close-up shot of just a picture we took of one of the videos. And it has this. Do you see the skull in there?
Yeah.
It was crazy, but let me go to the videos now. Sorry, guys. I was hoping to do this from my camera on my phone, but...
That's all right. However it works, we're going to see some video footage here.
All right, let me go there. Okay, pictures. Oh, no. All right, let me go to the next one. There we go. Okay. Oh, that's not it. Let me find it. Sorry, guys.
They're saying when you show it, turn the light off in the room.
Okay. Where's my remote?
Yeah, I can see why. There's too much light.
Okay.
Reflection. Yeah.
All right, is this better?
Yeah, I think so.
So this is a hard one to see, but this is the actual ship itself.
Oh, wow.
And it was pretty fascinating, actually.
Can you bring your phone camera close to the picture, to the video?
Yes.
Bring it down a little bit.
A little bit?
Right there. There you go.
Okay.
Perfect.
This was the video. Oh, here, let me turn off my Bluetooth real quick, because I think you might be able to hear. Oh, no, this one didn't have sound. Now, this was pretty fascinating. One of the girls, Christina, took it, and she came over and showed it to me. She said, your star people told me to come bring this to you, and that you would know what it means. And as soon as I seen it, I just literally started bawling my eyes out like a baby.
Wow.
I got a massive download from it. And so it looks kind of staticky all around the sides, but that's actually, I don't know if it's plasma or if that's just energy. But most of the time when you get a close up of the ships on the, you see that all around there. There's all this floating energy moving all around it.
Yeah.
All right, let me go to the next video.
I think it could be also because the energy is so strong from the ship, it affects the phone. So it's not your fault of not having a clear picture. People have to realize when the spaceships of light like that are there, their vibrational energies are strong. Therefore, there'll be a little bit of distortion on the camera. It's not the camera; it's the ship's energy.
Yeah, I've had people say something to me before, and I keep telling them, I'm like, it's not my camera. It's just from the ship.
It's the ship's energy.
This one you don't see as well, probably on here, but it was like a red color ship. I believe this was one of the girl Christina's people, and it was really neat. It was like this deep orangish red color, and it just kept glowing and glowing bright in the sky. This one's a really horrible shot, though. I think this one I got from her. Yeah, you don't see it too well in this one. It's almost at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
That
not
was.
very clear as the other one was. The other one's a little bit clearer.
This is one of my favorites now. This is where I told you they were literally changing my phone. So like literally like here, I don't know if you can see it, but it's a little dot. Watch the white dot. It's moving all around.
Oh
We
yeah,
were
I
out.
see the dot up above there. No, that's
Yeah. Now watch.
that's from your phone, right?
Yeah, this I took on my phone.
That's your
And
phone, okay.
yeah, and literally it turned my whole entire screen black. It was just, the light was still kind of out because it was sunset, and it just turned my whole entire screen black. And I have one other one where they did the same exact thing.
Huh.
It was
And
so weird.
when you were out in the desert with everybody, were you I don't recall whether you were able to videotape any of the ships?
This is the most we could do was like they let us video and record all we wanted of them like in the sky. See, it just did it again. It turned it all black. It was blue and then it goes black. And then they spoke to us telepathically. We didn't get to meet them in person like we thought, but that's going to be the next trip, which I found out. I did check with them. We're either going to do it in November or December this year. So
Really?
we'll be going to Sedona.
Sedona.
Yeah.
So they're going to bring their ships to Sedona, Arizona?
Yes, and they said this one I will be seeing. Like we will be able to meet with them in person.
Yeah, but in Sedona, are they going to go to a safe location where the military can't interfere?
I believe so. I think they actually have things that like can literally block them from being like on radar on it or like being tracked or anything. I believe that they can cloak themselves.
I believe you're right. No, they'll be protected. They won't. They'll jam any military radar that tries to catch them.
Yeah, because even in Utah, I mean, if you could have seen how many ships were there, the whole sky was lit. There was so many. It was insane. There's probably at least 20 ships there that night. And I mean, everywhere. Wow. And there was just people out there. And I mean, there's no way if the government could track them, there's no way nobody would have noticed that many ships in one location coming in. So I think they definitely have a forefront way.
You're going to have to, when you do it, let us know, because if you're able to go live, you'll be able to,
yes,
be able to see it.
I would definitely I'd want to do it for part of it. I know the last time they said that we couldn't film while we were on the ship. Oh, here's another one. We couldn't film while we were on the ship, but they did say that, we could do as much of the outside of the ship as we wanted. As long as we're not doing our ceremony, they'll let me record, but we're a lot of them are picky when we do our ceremonies. I have to have the technology off, but I'll do everything I can to record everything before and after.
Yeah, no, that's fine. It's the same thing with my friend April up in Vermont. You can record the ship from the outside. She's in northern Vermont, and we're part of a group of 4 other people with her. That's 5 that I've talked about briefly, and we're going to be going between now and next year. For the first time, we're being taken physically off planet, for certain specific mission purposes, and we're coming back. So we might be off planet for an hour and a half, but it could be like 2 to 3 months off planet because there's no time.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy.
Our space family does not operate in time.
Yeah, I was surprised. I thought they'd want us to go to like a Sedona or something, but they actually said, or not Sedona, but Mount Shasta. But they said Sedona we're supposed to meet at the Kachina vortex.
Okay.
So I think it's because I am meant to go there, and they wanted me to like a month ago when I went up to Utah, but I ended up canceling the trip. So I guess we're going to do it anyways now.
Wow, beautiful! This is so beautiful, and the connections, everyone coming together on the show, like yourself. Everything is for a reason. I believe a lot of people are coming here and interconnecting and making friends with other people. I really, from the Astro Command level, not just being a talk show host, I really am about bringing people together without any ego, and people getting to know each other in areas or states. If they're in the same country or the same city, get to know each other, build a relationship up with people. And, because if you feel alone, you're not alone. And say, oh, I'm over in California too, or I'm over here in Oshkosh too. My whole thing is about community. The show is not just a popular UFO talk show, but I'm really, because I've been a contactee and because I know where I'm from, I can relate to people on a much different basis than somebody who's on a big TV station saying, oh, I got a UFO talk show, wearing a suit and tie, but I don't know anything about contact or anything. I'm just here to do the show.
Exactly. You want somebody that's actually lived through it or has some experience and knowledge in it. You know, you want to go to
Right.
somebody that actually knows what they're talking about.
And so you can have a relationship with that person or people.
Exactly.
And I build relationships with all my guests, my audience. I want my audience to feel good here. And, you know, we don't let any negative stuff in here. If we see it, we knock them right out, and we block them off the show. We don't have time for that, you know.
I love it. You have very high vibrational people on here. And you don't see many trolls or anything or any
No, we
problems
don't
on
really
here.
have problems.
It's so
When they come
pure.
in, they're taken out in 2 seconds once we see what their comment is, you know.
Well, they
So
say when we come together and create something that is all with high vibrational people, like that darkness can't even enter. It can't even come in there, you know?
They can't do it. They can't do it. I can't wait to see that in November or whenever they have you out there in Sedona. What happens when you guys are out there? Are you going to have a group of people with you?
Yeah, it's going to be me and the group again. I think we're going to have that 5th person by then, they were saying. And it's pretty neat. And the way we do it, we always, like last time we actually did like a whole ceremony. Like we had to literally use our light language and call them in. And it was pretty neat. We went person to person. And then that's where they told us like we were each one of the elements, like I'm the water element and stuff. So like we were incorporating all that. And it was pretty amazing to see. I know, and it was like funny the night before when we were doing a ceremony with this calling in the star people in our hotel room. The one girl told me, she's like, can you be really loud when you do your chanting or when you speak your light language? And I was like, yeah. Why? And she's like, because you might have to get really loud tomorrow. I'm like, oh, that's no issue. And then it was weird because when I was out there, right when I started calling them in, I started screaming it. It echoed throughout the whole entire canyon and all throughout the desert. It was crazy, but I don't know why it was needed, but it was like just what she had said. It just like naturally came through, but it was really neat hearing like the reverb of everything.
Well, I want to thank you for taking a little bit of time up here. And you know, you've just been great. I know we should probably do like a second part. Last night, I know you got a lot of people messaging you that had questions. And I mean, I'm totally open to if you want to take a little bit of time, and we'll get more guests up here, but if you want to take time with your space friend, because she's a telepathic communicator. She's not a channel. She's like me. She telepathically communicates, gets her downloads directly from her space family like I do. And sometimes I'm like, there are days when I have things going on. I felt it today. I never expressed it much, but there are times when I feel my consciousness has shifted so much since last year that at times I feel like really weird on the planet. Like I can't explain it in words. I just feel like very strange being here. I can feel more strange being on Earth now than I did my whole life. It's almost like because I'm now activated and I've actually know that my family's on a spaceship and they're waiting to see me in the next few months, my whole dynamic of the way I think is different, you know, and it's hard to shake that because now it's a part of my reality. You know what I mean?
The more strands of your DNA you activate, the more it becomes like that. It becomes harder to stay centered and grounded in Earth. It does become, like they say, if you go over 12, it's going to be very difficult to stay centered at all and grounded.
Yeah. And, you know, I just, I had this feeling a little bit today, maybe the other day, that, what? Did you hear a sound? Hello?
Yeah, I hear something in the background. I don't know what it is.
That was weird.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I hear.
Do you still hear? I don't hear it now.
Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, there's static coming through.
Yeah, let me move it away from my computer. That might I don't know if that or not. Maybe if that's interfering. There we go.
No, it's not a growl. There's no growl.
Is it still there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm putting my I'm putting my earbuds on here.
Yeah, I usually have mine. I'll put mine back in.
Wait a minute. It was weird. As I was talking about feeling weird and how stuff is happening, I don't hear it now. Do you hear it?
There we go. Yeah, I got my Bluetooth in now, so I'm not hearing it anymore. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I don't know. That sound, the whole thing threw me off for a minute.
Are you still hearing it?
No, I'm not hearing it now.
Okay. Okay, good. All right, there we go. Got my Bluetooth on now, so now I ain't got no distractions. So were you wanting me to answer questions?
Yeah, somebody said they thought there were the star people coming through on my broadcast. Now that's
They
possible.
can do that.
Too. I think
They
that
can
was
do
just
that.
happening.
I love that. Like when we went on the trip.
We'll get just that threw me off for folks for a minute. Weird things do happen on my show.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone said they confirmed they heard voices.
That is so crazy.
When you have two people like us on together with that kind of vibrational level, I don't doubt it.
Yeah. I'm surprised crazier stuff hasn't started to happen yet already.
Well, everything's being recorded, so I'll have to listen back to the show. But if you have questions for Kai, please, regarding the galactic cosmic area. Hey, Cliff, good to see you. Please feel free to ask, and we're looking at your comments.
Okay. I seen somebody that just asked if I got anything. Yeah. Shell Bell. Let me see. I felt drawn to you. All right. This is your star family coming in. They say you've been struggling a little bit. You do have a lot that's going on in your mind right now. I don't know if you got a lot of stress going on or a lot of overthinking, or we are a lot at this period right now where we're kind of embarking on this next chapter of our journey, so we're closing out this last cycle. So that usually means a lot of things are falling away from our life, all those things that can't go with us. So I kind of think that might be something that is affecting you right now, is what they're saying, or what they're giving me the feeling of. They want you to put all your stress away. Don't worry about any of that stuff. You know what's in alignment with you. You know what you want to take with you. So they're saying, do not be afraid to release it. Do not be afraid to start on a new journey. And they are with you every part of the way. They've always been with you. Every tear you've ever cried, they've been there by your side and cried it with you. And they will continue to remain with you.
And also, just to let people know, before you get any further, I should ask this, since now for me, I have complete knowledge of what happens on my show. I am getting it with some sort of space contact. If you can ask your space contact what was just happening with the voice coming through, if they have any, my energies tell me that there was definitely some space communications trying to come through at the same time I was talking. That's what I'm getting for myself. If you want to ask them, what do you think space? I forgive me for not getting the name right, but was there attempted contact from my space people just minutes ago?
You want me to ask them if that was from your people?
Yes, please.
I heard yes.
They said yes.
Yes, they said yes.
Can you tell me, because it was muffled, I couldn't understand what they were trying to tell me.
Do you know what they were or can you share with us what they were trying to say? I think they were just wanting to make an appearance on the show. Like, I really think it was more of a frequency coming through. Right. They were just wanting to show people, because you said earlier while you started the show that your people were going to be watching from their ship tonight, specifically.
Me on the ship, my parents, yes.
Yeah, they wanted to give everybody that confirmation and show, like, really? We're here.
Wow,
we're here. I mean, like,
they've never done that before on my phone. That's really amazing. Thank you. I felt that, but I wanted to just get a confirmation of that. Thank you.
I guess that person I was reading for was not Shell Bell. It was somebody else's energy I was picking up, because she said that didn't relate to her. But I know what I was picking up. I'm not sure if that relates to anybody else on this call. There's probably quite a few people that could relate to, because a lot of people are at the same point. But, all right, what is it for Shell Bell?
You know what? I'll try to bring up the comments on pinning the comments. So if there's a question, I'll pin your comment up. Okay, let's see here. I'm hearing a lot of, Jersey from Mike. Life. Hey, Jersey.
Okay, so Shell Bell, they're saying that they really don't have anything to share with you. So they're saying, do you have a question for them? Nope, don't see anything yet. Shelbell, are you still with us?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm looking too.
Everybody
I
keeps saying they hear static.
I can only pin comments when no one's on here.
Okay.
So I just forgot that TikTok thing there. But go ahead. What's left to read the questions?
Oh, that's right. All right, Shelbell, what was your question? Or they want to know if you have a question for them you want to ask. Let's see. Are they still hearing a lot of, they keep saying that they're hearing a lot of static. My end, it sounds clear.
I have my mic up here, and I'm not hearing any noise or static at all anymore.
Me either. All right, I'm going to try this. I will turn off mine and see if that helps, because then that'll show if it's mine or not.
Yeah, my hands are right here, folks. I'm not touching the mic or anything.
Neither. So, all right. Did that go away now? They're still saying I hear it.
Susan says I don't hear anything unusual. Okay. Okay, now it says all clear on both mics. So whatever it is, it's gone away.
All right, good. All right, did Shelbell ever answer me? And I don't see it. All right, let's see. Let's pick somebody else for a question. Oh God, there's so many coming in. No, they're saying they still hear it. Well, some people are and some people aren't. Okay, that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm not going to try to figure it out. If it's coming from space, I have no control over that.
I did have a fan on. Somebody just asked me that, so I turned off the thing.
Okay, the fan is off. So she had a fan on. Okay.
Okay. My star family is from Sirius. Do you have any information for me? What is your name? Batman. Okay. You're coming up on an activation. And what do you call it? What's the word? Oh, it's at the tip of my tongue. Initiation. You're also there. You're at like a point where they're going to be initiating you. You have something right around the corner coming for you too. They're wanting you to be in tune with your intuition, but they especially want you to start making more time to go within and to communicate, because there are some steps you're not going to want to miss. There are some steps that you need to take. This thing that's going to be coming in for you is what they're saying. So it is a very good time to tune into yourself or them. They would love to assist you with that as well. You also have a new gift coming online as well, Batman. It's, what gift is it? Can you share that? It's an activation of what's clear. It's either going to be like where they're cranking up your ability that you already have now, or it's going to be a whole new gift. Which one? It's both. Sorry, it's both of those. So you have a gift that you don't even know about that's going to be coming on. They said be patient with yourself. Like, it's going to be kind of uncomfortable at the beginning. You're not going to really know how to use it. They say that's where they will work with you on it. And then you have your gifts that are going to kind of get cranked up. You're going to be able to use it on a whole other level than what you are used to currently at this point. That's all they got for you today. If you have any questions, you can always ask that. But
And John, and I'll try to choose some questions here. So I know people are going nuts with their questions. So we're going to try, she's only one person and she's not a computer. So let's slow it down just a little bit here. John says, can you tell me about my star family? John B, the Gray Tone one is the name.
Syrian, Lyran. Is he Indian? Okay, so you're not a blue avian. You're a blue azurite. You're with the Azurites. So Azurites is like, it's like an order. For one, like Azurites, part of our DNA went to creating the human race here. They are part of the Emerald Order and a part of protecting the Emerald Order and the Emerald Covenant. I'm also an Azurite as well. You are part of that group. So you have a very important role here. And you do definitely have a very strong connection with the star people. They are going to be making more contact with you, and I believe it's all going to be telepathic. They're really, really, really wanting you to start realizing more of your history, your past, who you are, what you do here on this earth, because it is important. Yeah. So they're just saying, please realize, like, the way I can tell usually, like, if it's if it's me talking or if it's somebody else, you're not going to address yourself as a third person, whenever you're talking to yourself, and you'll hear them, they'll call you by your name and stuff like that. So if you ever hear them talking to you in like a third person, you would never say that to yourself. So that's somebody else communicating with you, or if they'll literally say your name. So that's somebody else. So always know at that moment, okay, this is messages coming in. I need to pay attention to what they're saying. It's just not my thoughts coming to me. They're saying they've already been communicating with you here and there, but a lot of the times you're mistaking it for your own thoughts instead of communication from them. Okay. Next.
There's another person here. I'm just looking at all the questions. No, that's not happening. We're not going to tell you how to win $1 million. This is not what the show's about.
They don't do that anyways. They will never, ever,
ever. We're not going to do that
you.
here. People once in a while come here to ask me even how they can win some money. This is a spiritual UFO show. This is not psychics who win a millionaire or something.
The divine will even give it to you, though. They will never give that. They will tell you every time, like, sorry, can't do it.
Let's see. Okay, so let me see here. Let's see what the questions are. They're coming so quickly here. I'm trying. Oh, Diane says, am I a Palladian? That's my friend Diane. She has connection with the Bigfoots.
If you're feeling it, you already know that answer. Like, when you have like a race that's just like always been like that name's always popping in your mind, or you feel like you're drawn to them, you already know that's definitely a connection you have. But Diane, I'm also hearing that you as well have you have Pleiadian and Andromedan. I'm hearing you had a prominent timeline with Andromeda too. Yes. Yeah. I'm not hearing anymore. Just Pleiadian and Andromedan. They said.
And here's a person. Her name is Charity B. She says here on Encounters, I feel so connected to the stars, but never heard of having a star family.
If you had that connection to the stars, that's exactly why you have it. That's like it's calling out to you. That's your home. A lot of times in your life, you're going to realize too, as you start this journey, if you look back on your life, they were leaving you clues your whole entire life to help trigger an awakening, to trigger a reminder of who you are. Like me, I have such a connection with the unicorn realm, and like I always had unicorns growing up and angels, and like there was all these little things that were always they were putting in my path and always around me that would be like a little trigger point for you. Stars are one of them. It's to trigger your reminder of your history and your relationship with those stars systems. You are a star being, though. You are a star seed, and you wouldn't be on the show if you weren't.
Right, pretty much. And Banca Estela Salinas says, please, I saw a UFO when I was 14 years old. Do I have a connection with them? Well, you're not in connection with the UFO. It's a traveling vehicle. What you're probably asking is, do you have a connection with the beings that were operating the spaceship?
And yeah, you do. If you were seeing it, definitely. Like, they don't... Yeah. Cloak themselves. If you see them, it's because they want you to see them.
That's right. That's how it works, right?
Yeah.
When I had my sighting, when I had my sighting, Kai, in Connecticut here, for people watching, I was at a club. I was doing reggae music when albums were still being a big deal, and I used to do roots music like Bob Marley, Third World, all these groups and I had a DJ booth in the back past the bar and everything, and I was setting up for the night, and then I was going home. So before I went out of the club, I heard a voice say, look up. As soon as I went outside in this parking lot, there was a supermarket on the other side, and lights, tall, big, light poles or whatever, and there weren't a lot of people around. The market was still open. Behind the market was a hilly area and trees and everything. So as I go outside and hear the voice say, "Look up," I'm looking at a spaceship 2 football fields in length, about 1,000 feet above a condo complex on a hill. And that after the hill, you get to the woods, and then there's an interstate highway to the northwest of where I was. So, excuse me, I'm there watching this thing, and it had 2 lights come out, and it was doing all kinds of geometry in the sky, which I didn't even understand. I'm sitting in my car with a little flip phone. This is before we had TikTok, Facebook, and everything. When the cell phones were just starting, the little ones. And I called the local ABC affiliate, and they're telling me it's a bunch of air pilots, just local pilots in a formation. I said, "Are you kidding me?" I said, "You should tear up your piece of paper trying to tell people calling your station." I said, "I'm standing here watching this thing right now as we're speaking on the phone, and the thing is about the size of 2 football fields, and it's spinning. It was spinning really low. It had 4 tubular areas come together. It had lights going like crazy on it, and it was the biggest spaceship I ever experienced in my whole life." I'm going to ask you a question about this.
Yes.
And I feel that they were showing me something for a reason. But can you ask your space people if they can go back into a little bit back into the history where I was at that time? Not that they would know anything, but if they do, can they tell me more about who was inside that ship I was watching for 35 minutes?
I'm hearing they believe that was Gray's at the time, actually.
Those were Greys?
That's what I'm hearing.
Really? They had a big ship.
Yeah. Was it like a metal ship, or was it like one of the light ships like we see like in the pictures?
It was metal, but it had all kinds of lights on it, like blinking like crazy.
My theory of and what they put on my heart is like when you see the big metal ships, that is a being not of light.
Okay.
They showed me like how my pictures were and all these other people's, like when it is a light being, it's literally their ship is made of light. They move at the speed of light by using their mind and everything. The beings that are not of source, they have to have technology to do what we can do on our own,
They didn't bother me at all. I mean, because I was already working my Astro Command mode when I was there, but I just heard this voice say, "Look up," and I saw the ship. There was 2 balls of light that came that were beautiful colored lights. One was orange, one was yellow, and they were doing geometry in the sky right above me.
I had a friend like probably a year and a half ago. He was at Walmart here in Alabama in Huntsville, and he has like a special camera, and I can't remember what kind it was or if it was his video game thing, but you could see all kinds of stuff you normally cannot see. And he started shining it around the parking lot, and he noticed there was a ship above the Walmart. It was just hovering there, like watching the people. Right. And the ship, it's like they knew instantly because we all see, this is where I was confused about, because I don't know if Greys are connected to, I would think that they're not connected to our
They're not connected. No, the Zeta, they've been a problem. The Astro Command has actually, my friend April and I have talked about this when she's on live with me, and the Zeta are being rounded up as well as the reptilians. They're not here to do anything, but for 70 years they've been causing havoc on the planet. They had an agreement with the government to do abductions and for the reverse technology. That's the deal. So I completely understand. Now the Zeta, they are not working in the.
Maybe that's who it was then, because they abducted him that day. They knew as soon as he spotted them on the camera that they knew he was watching them, and like they left. They whole butt them when they seen the ship like started watching them and started coming towards them. The ship followed him home. His one friend disappeared. He won't come back. He was supposed to be moving to this town. His friend now will never. He like left, went back home, and said, "I ain't coming back." His friend dropped him off. He was outside in his car working on it. Next thing you know, he wakes up in his car in some other town on a road that he's never been on. His boots that were on his feet were in his trunk now. And like he was faced the wrong way on the road and everything. He just wakes up there in the middle of nowhere. He actually had an incision on the back of his neck where they did surgery on him.
Really?
He was so traumatized when this happened.
Yeah, that's not good at all. you know?
Yeah, he was in such fear, and we hadn't talked in like a couple years, and this is what brought us back together. Somebody told him like, you might want to talk to Christina now, and I've
Yeah,
helped him, and he started his awakening. But I can't stand that where they're abducting people. I think that it's seriously should be like a law against. It should be against universal law. Something needs to be
we had
done.
a gentleman on a few nights ago, everybody, who had an moving implant in his ear area. And my father gave me some April. So my father, when I went on ship out of body. I didn't realize it, but I did. And I was talking to my father on the Ashtar ship, and he did something like he touched my head or something and he activated something in me that, so I did something with this person to try out what I've been activated to do. And when I worked on him, it's all documented on the show. And he even said it himself, the moving implant, I had totally destroyed it, took it out, and there was no pain. I destroyed the implant. So I've been given abilities to do certain things. There's no hocus pocus in anything I do. Everything I do is documented on my live shows because I record everything. So he said himself, and you'll hear him if you watch any of my shows. He's on one of the shows recently, a few nights ago. He told people right on the live that I actually destroyed the implant, which I did.
I'm impressed. Usually, a lot of times people have to go outsource to somebody else. So I'm glad to see that you were able to do it yourself. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a new thing for me. I mean, I've been able to do I've always had the ability to do certain things on a subtle level, but I've really been amped up and activated to be able to do this. That's the first time I remotely took an implant out of somebody on my show and destroyed it. Yeah, yeah.
All right, my team's telling me they want me to do some. So many people have a question right now. A lot of the same questions. They want me to do an activation. They said
An activation. Okay, let's do this.
Yeah, it's going to help activate people to help them realize who their star heritage and start activating some of their memories of that time if they're allowed to have it. Sometimes, if there's some part of your past that it's not going to benefit you to know, they're not going to let you know that information. But what you can know from your past, you're going to start getting that information coming into you. And this is also just going to activate. Some people on here are ready for gifts and abilities to be turned on, so you can connect with them. So this is also going to help those people as well. Okay.
Beautiful. So just like people, you're watching captures, and Kai's now we're going to do an activation for you. And, this is part of what the show's about. And this is the more positive aspects of what we can do here on this program. So we'll turn over to Kai, and we're going to watch and see what happens.
All right, everybody, I want you to just take a deep breath in. Exhale. I want you to picture beautiful golden energy. It's going to be entering at your crown chakra while I'm doing this, and it's going to fill every inch of your body with this beautiful golden light and energy while I do this. Aletu nalete, aleku malalea sanaya tu shiaya maraliete ke amate. Ai sararia tu kuna kepa e atu hulea tai sanaria tu ke amaralitea. Holea sanite akai ai kulete asinaya tu shiaya wunia te asi. Ele tu kumanaya se ahushiaya kinai o se te ayakushia. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. I'm going to do rains of heaven on you now too. It's also that heals your aura, and it's going to bring it to a much higher frequency, but it kind of just like heals every part of your aura and fills in any holes and tears and all that. All right, let's do the rains of heaven now to heal their aura. Analito tu kumaraliete senalietu shiayakai ayukuna lete anariatu shiayamadate. Ete keneria tuku manartea ate asuliatai ushinayapai okunia. I sinaraliatu nashiaki I ukune ayatu. They want me to bring in my crystal, so they wanted my Andaran crystal to be held.
That's a nice crystal, by the way.
Huh?
Beautiful crystal.
Thank you. I love this thing. It found its way to me. Ayatu sinarariatu shakai ai ukunalariete sinararia humararishi. Ikanarariatu te ai usunararia kushiai. One more deep breath in. Exhale. This last part's going to be for the people that just have the gifts and abilities. This is going to be a quick activation for you. Etetakamosate haihushanate. Ai huku etu usunalareti ai unake malitai ai usunalareti ishaya hainukuma esetea hoshiaya hete kai ute asaniriatu ishai ataihu kialarete. Right. So you guys are activated. Drink lots of water the next 2-3 days. It kind of locks in the work. If you get dehydrated, you can lose the activation, actually. So just stay hydrated.
Water is key. You got to drink the water. Yep, absolutely. Kai, thank you so much for being here. You're a blessing. And if you want to follow Kai, certainly do so. She's a friend of the show now. And every once in a while, we'll bring her up and let her share new information. Come November, when you November, December, whenever they're having you make contact, she's going to document it. And if you have physical contact, you can tell us about that too. Now, if they come outside the ship, and you can ask them, I know they hear what I'm saying. The commander's saying, will you let her take pictures of you outside the ship in your space outfits, if possible, just so we can show them on our show? That would be very beautiful. If you decide you can't do that, that's fine too. We want them to feel comfortable on Earth coming off the ship with you in Sedona, Arizona. So we'll see what happens.
They're laughing because they're like, we don't want to tell you this yet. Like I think they're wanting to surprise me with it, but they're saying like they'll think about it now. They're laughing about it. They're like, you kind of ruined their plan. I think they were going to surprise.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to do that. My advanced consciousness, I didn't mean to spill the beans, you guys. But, it's okay.
I'm excited. I'm pumped now.
Maybe she'll buy you some pizza or ice cream, or maybe some vegetarian food at a vegetarian restaurant in Sedona. But you're going to have to change your clothes so people don't, know that you're a space people.
If they're coming to Earth, okay, and they're not always able to eat the food, they got to splurge and get the junk food. Let them have the ice cream.
Ice cream's good. I was thinking about that. You'll figure out. You're going to be the tour guide.
I'm going to let them have a bad day that day. They can eat whatever they want. They don't have to go vegetarian and stuff.
Right, they can do whatever they want when they come here. All right, Kai, thank you. You've been a blessing.
Bye, guys.
I'm so happy we got you on video here,
Thank you for that. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you doing this. Thank you.
My audience is the best. The audience here is the best people in the world. I have to thank my audience for helping her. And we'll have you on again soon.
Yes.
All right, Kai.
Hey, guys.
All right, here you go, everyone. Thanks for helping her get on live, on video. Right. Very good. Very good. Very good. My audience is the most, I got to say, my audience here on the show around the world are the most amazing, beautiful people you are. You're all the best people in the world. So I want to thank you. Brianna, tahar to you. All right, Nurse Tahar, you're the best. I love doing the tahar thing. I really do. I only have one more hat left, and then I have to reset it. So I put 10 more. Amity, thank you for the lightning bolt. I feel like I'm getting bolted with lightning pretty good. Debbie, tahar. Hard for life. It's great. You can change your my expressions changed to hard. I could have been a contender or an actor or something maybe, but I should have done that a long time ago. I could have been in a movie about space people. Telly, RN Nurse, thank you for the gifts. You folks are great. We need to get to 100,000 likes. We're only at 61.9. Let's do it. Everyone tap on the screen. If everyone taps, we'll get to 100,000 likes before midnight. But that means every person on here, we have 304 people. If we do this together, folks, just imagine what we can do together. Jersey Foley, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Emily, I'm glad you subscribed too. Thank you so much. I remind you of your brother, Helen. Okay, hopefully it's a good reminder. Jennifer, thank you for the roses. I appreciate that very much. Kai, thank you for the roses. I'm so excited for Kai and her group in Sedona, and she'll have her 5th person in her group. So she'll have a total of 5 people. Jennifer, thank you for the lightning bolt. We appreciate it. And Jennifer, thank you for the heart me. Our nurse, thank you for the roses. And I need to. That's right. I have to set up a new goal. It says here. And you're watching Encounters, the late night spiritual UFO talk show. So I'm going to put up here. I think we're going to go for 12 of the hats. I'm going to go up to. I feel confident. I'm going to put 12 hats on my TikTok here, the heart and the mustache. 12 will be available because I know 10 is not that much. So now that I got what is that thing? I just got what was that? I got to go back and see who gave me the gift. Roses, I got hearts. Kai, thank you. What was the other thing I got? Naughty chicken. Hey, Karen82, thank you. I've never seen a naughty chicken before, but thank you. Ruby, thank you for the... Kai, thank you. River Blue, thank you for the gift of the rock star. I got to do my Elvis. I had nothing but a hound dog from outer space. See, I just did my Elvis impression here on Encounters. Oh, man, I'm telling you. It was a chicken. Hey, we got to have a little bit of sense of humor, which I do have. Gift board is frozen. TikTok must be having some problems. But we have the hats available. So we're going to do some more interviews with people. If you would like to join us, okay. Thank you, Karen Morgan. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I've always had a light sense of humor when I came to Earth, and probably to horror. I think what it is because coming from off polar coming from off planet, I always was a person I always had a sense of humor. I believe if I'd pursued it back in the 60s, maybe I could have been on a sitcom or something, like Mork and Mindy or something. Remember that movie, the series Mork and Mindy? Or I could have done something. But you know what? I'm happy to be here. In my heart, I'm always a happy camper, although I have to deal with all the situations on Earth like all of us. But I am happy to be where I am now. Mork and Mindy were quite the characters. Now, what was that guy from Mars in the 60s? The actor he was a horse, of course, Mr. Ed. And in Mr. Ed, the other guy was a Martian. Was it My Favorite Martian or something? I don't remember. I could have played the landlord. Well, I'm just glad to be here now with all of you. My Favorite Martian. That was a very funny show. I used to watch that show all the time. I watched a lot of sci-fi growing up as a kid, and a lot of sci-fi folks, a lot of those sci-fi growing up were fear-based about these. They made the ETs look negative, and there were sometimes a few that weren't that way. Lost in Space, I remember that. Let's see here, Outer Limits. I used to watch that. There's a lot of stuff out there. And there was this one movie that made Martians look really not good. And it's this Martian that was the head of it was in a cave, and he had a glass bowl, a glass thing around him, and he controlled all the other Martians. And I don't remember the name. It was a black and white movie back in the 60s. Actually, X-Files. That definitely was something I used to watch. I was afraid of Close Encounters. The Land of the Giants. Yeah. When you think back, there were probably hundreds of sci-fi movies back in the day that you probably have your favorites that you probably watched. Commander, give a few minutes. I need to have battery on phone and 15% before I can turn camera on. Okay, Teresa. Once you have that set up, we'll bring you on here. Yeah, X-Files was X-Files was a real way of getting people, I think, interested in the subject we talk about here. Meatballs with Rick Moranis. I think it's Rick Moranis. I think it's called Meatballs or whatever. where they had the guy in the camper flying in space with the other guy. I think it was with it was John. I mean, I think John Candy was wearing this outfit of looking like an animal person type ET, and then the other guy was they were in a camper going through the universe. I just don't remember the name of the movie. It was a funny movie. Spaceballs. That's right. Spaceballs. That's it. Thank you, Terry. Spaceballs. Spaceballs is a classic. Starman, on the other end of the spectrum, was a very beautiful story. And, that was one of the more positive ET space being movies. Contact, Starman, there were a few of them. There definitely were a few of them, right? Hey, Lily Bop, welcome to our show Encounters. And we're glad to have everybody here. You're all a blessing. All the new people, welcome. Yeah, Rick Moranis, he's a funny guy anyway. When he was wearing that helmet and Spaceballs, he would crack me up. I mean, he's trying to seriously, be the Darth Vader, but he was so funny. It was Cocoon's another beautiful one. Yes, Cocoon, Contact, Starman. Those are really good, positive movies about the star people. Excuse me. Excuse me. Yes, yes. May the Swartz be with you. E.T. was a good movie. E.T. with the kids, and the bicycle going in the sky with E.T. That was pretty cool. Thank you, Jordan. I appreciate that. Yeah, C5 Raven is good. And if you don't have the C5 app, folks, it's really very cheap. It's like $10. Download it on your app. If your Google Play app is what you have, it's like just go on Google Play. If you're Apple, you can download the app on the Apple for the iPhone and learn the protocol. And everybody here, I really do believe everybody, seriously, if you do that, you can actually learn how to make visual contact with the star people. Yeah, Raven, definitely do it. And that goes for anybody out there. We've reached 100,000 likes. Thank you so much. Marinate, thank you, everyone who's made it happen. Okay, so Olivia, it's called CE5. It's called CE5, which is an app on both the Google Play on Android phones and on Apple iPhones. It is an Apple download, and it's called CE5. Yeah, like Cosmic Earth 5, CE5. Yep. So Raven, you said your first experience was at 9. Was that a visual experience of a UFO, or did you have contact? Marty Lawson, are the ships coming to get me? I'm in a group of another 4 people. Well, actually, myself, Kit Kat, Chesno, let's see, Johnny, and April has already been on the ships constantly. We'll be eventually going together as a group. Not yet, but we will be eventually going. I'm thinking more 2025 is when we'll actually be going. And I know a lot of people say we all want to go, but this is a very specific group of 5. Our families are on the spaceship, and when major contact happens, there'll be that opportunity to meet the space people in a bigger way. But this is for just the 5 of us right now, for very specific purposes. Anyway, girls, you got the ET twin beds. We got our girls when they were little. Let's see. My grandsons have them now. Beautiful. Well, the little ET beds are still going to use. So that's a good thing. You're right, nurse. It's going to be a beautiful thing when it happens, for sure. Oh, telepathically communications as attained. Very beautiful. Hey, paranormal Ghostbusters in the Philippines. Good to have you with us, brother. We're doing good, paranormal. Good to have you with us on our audience here tonight. Oh, your telepath communications with a being named Zed. Very interesting, Raven. Marty Lawson, my pleasure. That's what I'm here for, as host of the show and a contactee. So, Belladonna, I know we can't get you on live, but I've been trying to tell you, and trying to help you, is to disconnect from the Zeta. The Zeta have been the ones abducting people over 70 years. And for some reason, we're not able to get you on here. I'd be very surprised if you're able to come on now, Belladonna. I just sent you a request to go live, but I think you're on your end of it, you're not able to do that for some reason. Honey McReynolds, thank you for the jump. My extraterrestrial name is different. When I learned my extraterrestrial name, Debrana, it is different from my human name, for sure. And you'll find a lot of people on here that have their extraterrestrial name or their star name. Their human name will be slightly different. Your Aunt Raven says, my aunt told me about thank you for the D-Day glasses. Oh, those are good. Those headphones are working for me. Thank you very much for that. They told you about your star people, Palladians, but your aunt. How did your aunt know about the star people, Pallades? Did your aunt have contact? Yeah, I think you're right, Blessed Mom. They know that if she comes on, I can tell the Zeta to take a hike. I've done that before in the show, too. Alexis, good to see you. Good evening. Traditional family stories, Raven. Okay. Oh, indigenous. Okay. I'm just reading the comments here. Well, we're getting close to 1 a.m. in the morning. My grandpa is from East Canada. Interesting. Okay. Let's see here. Teresa, we're going to bring Teresa up. And she got everything going there. So, Teresa, welcome to Encounter. Good to see you, Teresa.
Hey, Commander.
Hey, how are you?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
My camera, it's still at a low percent.
That's
so
okay.
we just won't do the camera.
Not for tonight, anyway. So tell us.
No.
Now I'm going to put my headphones on. They're working. I should go into.
Go ahead.
Let's see if this works. I should go into my earpod mode. Give me a second, folks. I'm going to switch over.
Take your time.
I'm going to pause myself here.
Hey, sweetheart, blessed. How are you doing? Yeah, I cannot wait to send you those videos. I could not believe it. I was just stargazing. Hi, Amity. How are you? Hi, Karen. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Marnay. Is that how you say it? If I said it wrong, I'm so sorry. Did everybody enjoy their Labor Day weekend? Can you guys hear me now? I think I accidentally hit the mic. Hi, everybody. Half Pint, Raven, Helen, Ariel, Paranormal. Wow, these comments are going so fast. Yeah, Commander said he'll be right back. He just had to do something with his earphones, I guess. So I guess it's just me and you guys. Hola, Helen. ¿Cómo estás? My day was good. It got even better at nighttime when I seen what I seen. Shock.
Okay.
We were just all sitting here, just shooting the crap.
Okay, we're back. I got my ear pod on. My Bluetooth wasn't on, so that's why it didn't work. So we're back here. Welcome, everybody. And Teresa is my guest. Let me just see here. Why am I not? My background thing just disappeared. Let me just do a second to get this going here. The effects.
You're fine.
I think I'm good. So let's get in.
Oh, where did he go? Hopefully we didn't.
Okay,
There
here
he
we
is. Had to say, hopefully we didn't lose him.
Alrighty, just a minor little technical thing I had to fix there, but we're good. All right, so let's begin. Tell us a little bit about what's happening out there tonight, and I'm just glad to have you on the show.
This has been, what, my fourth time on the show with you?
Yeah, fourth time, yeah.
Yeah, been here a long time. No,
Yeah.
I was trying to do what you were saying, kind of like meditate and then kind of, open myself up to
Yeah.
receiving everything. And I've been doing that for like the last, I say probably 10 days. And then all of a sudden tonight, I was like, I don't know, but I want to go outside and look at the stars. I want to look at the sky. It had just got done like storming.
Yeah.
And then literally all I seen is clouds. And the next thing you know, I seen this like bright, like, I don't know, it looked like a beam and it just, whoof, it like swooped by.
Wow.
And I was like, maybe that was a shooting star glitch, whatever.
Right.
I went to go
Right.
grab my camera and it happened 2 more times, like 1, 2, back and forth, like it was 2 different ones.
Right.
And then literally while I'm on, like, sitting here talking in the chat, I have my camera going and another one and another one.
Oh my God.
So I don't know if it was 1 or 2 or it was the same ones, but it's literally been happening while we were on live. And what I said when we were all listening to Kai and you talk, I was saying to him, I said, if you guys are listening or if you're talking to us or you're trying to make communication, let us know. Literally, it sounded like something trying to communicate in the live. And that kind of stuff just does not happen on live.
Right.
No interference unless it's on your microphone or hers. It was just
Right.
you two. So,
You heard,
like I said,
you heard the voice when I was speaking?
yeah.
Yeah, I heard it too.
When she was speaking and it went on for like 2 minutes. I had my camera recording the sky, but it heard all of that. So I'm gonna go back and listen and see what it was. But it sounded like, have you seen that latest audio out of what NASA or whoever caught? It sounded like
yeah.
that.
There was an audio thing coming through.
Yeah.
I'm also going to talk to my friend April her granddaughter's in the hospital, but she's been very busy, with the family stuff. But I had a feeling, and this show is being recorded. It'll be on my YouTube channel. I'll be downloading this tonight from my YouTube channel, so people can watch the show. And when I'm interviewing Kai, at the first part of the show, at some point you'll hear, like sometimes if people have a ear pod or something, it'll reverberate technically. But when I was listening to this, I stopped talking. It was like another voice was trying to speak.
Yeah, it's like it could not speak. It was like it was like another language is the best way I can say it. It wasn't
almost,
Spanish, French, or none of those. It was something else, and then it was static, and then it's like though that sound is the best way I can say. After whatever they said, what they said was that sound on that audio. Like
and a number of people that if you've been here all night watching the show, you would have heard it. I think some people did hear it. And then when Kai was talking to her telepathic communications with her space contact on the ship, and she's a telepathic communicator, they were saying, and she says what they said was, it was, the Ashtar people, probably my family, trying to communicate on my phone. And that will be the first time.
They were probably trying to talk to you.
Right. I think the first time that my space family, they do watch the show on the ship. People need to understand something. When I'm doing this show and you're all on here on TikTok watching this, don't think you're the only ones watching the show. They have monitoring screens on the spaceship, and they watch my show. They watch every single show when I'm live. They know when I'm live, they watch it on the ship.
Well,
So
this
I
is
have a
another way
feeling-
of them,
Yeah.
how do you
communicating.
say, getting human interaction without getting human interaction, without being here.
Well, I'm going to find out is because I don't always communicate. I communicate off planet with the Astro Command telepathically, but I'm going to, I got a feeling that's what it was, It was only for a few minutes. It didn't last very long, but it was definitely another person speaking, trying to join the conversation.
Yeah, somebody wanted a message. Somebody had something to say.
Yeah, and
But
someone's
when I
saying
was,
here, can they come up on a show? The space people, in terms of coming up on the show, I don't see that happening until we have major contact.
yeah,
I mean,
until it's worldwide. Yeah, they don't want to break any treaties that they may have.
Yeah. Let's
And
see
of course,
here.
nobody wants to make anybody in the government mad.
Well, who cares about the government? But the thing is, they do read the comments on the ship. They read all the comments.
Well, if they're listening right now, actually, the reason I had kind of wanted to talk to you earlier is when I was talking to Blessed, I was like, I was telling her how you explained to me what to do and stuff.
Yeah.
Can you tell if what was here? Can you tell if it was good or bad? And if so, if it was good and it was your people?
What just happened with you tonight?
No. Yeah, can
what-
you find out if it was your people or, because remember, in the past, I've had,
Yeah.
the Zeta, the bad ones, and
Yeah.
that's what concerns me.
Okay. So
I just want to make sure that whatever it was
so,
good.
So here's the deal. I believe we did some work with you initially to stop that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I do remember
Yes,
that.
and
So you should-
not had
so
a
you should-
problem since.
Yeah, so you're not having more problems. In terms of the sightings you had tonight, I believe that was confirmation that when Kai and I were talking, in terms of when you had your sighting tonight, I think it's more than one ship. I think they're very advanced. I don't know who they are, but I am not getting they were negative or anything. They were just trying to give you confirmation.
Because like my side of, because I live in Florida, where I'm at, like there's never in like ever been any kind of sightings. I've never seen any here where I live before. Like,
Yeah.
you know, up north area, yes, but never here. So when I seen that, I was like, okay, maybe it was a shooting star, but I mean, a total,
Yeah.
even it was happening while I was on live. So like
Yeah.
in the video that I have that I'm going to send you, you'll hear you talking in the background, but you'll see it clear as day. And then
Yeah.
one of the ones while you were talking, it's like a light shot out from that light.
Mm-hmm.
And that was
Oh,
kind of freaky to me.
Oh, when you were watching the sightings that you were having, a light shine out from the other light?
No, it was like a long flat light, and something kind of shot up and it went all the way around like a circle. You know, like that
Interesting.
spotlight on a helicopter?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It looked like a long ship, and it looked like a light was going down, like searching for somebody on the ground. But it was doing it up in the sky to left and right.
Interesting.
And it was, I zoomed in, and you can see, like, it's not a helicopter, it's not a plane. You can see kind of like a long ship.
Yeah, it could
So
be.
it kind of was
that,
like,
it could be that it was a large spaceship. You know, if
I've
you
never
meditate-
seen anything like that.
If you meditate and go within on that tonight before you go to sleep, you can ask yourself, the higher self, what I was saying, was it a large spaceship? And you'll get confirmation within. That's easy to do.
Yeah, me and Blessed have been talking for a while about, you know, the stuff that I went through with the Zetas and all that stuff. And she's seeing the stuff too, like I am now. I don't know if it's because we're being more open about it and we're talking about it more, but this was the first time that I've seen that much activity in a span of an hour.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, that was a lot.
Put it this way, like we've stated before, April and myself on my program and on her lives, is that there's a lot going on now. So the Zetas are bad. The Zetas, Teresa had contact with them, but we did some energy work with her. Hard. We did some energy work with her a couple of shows ago, and she's not had any problems since. So the Zeta, the Zeta, we got rid of.
They tortured me. They tortured me as a child, and that's kind of what brought me and Bless together. She had the same thing, and I told her she needs to let you do that energy block. She needs to have you do what you did for me for her. But she thinks it was dreams.
I can do it for her tonight.
Yeah, Blessed, you need to let him do that for you, honey. I know you're not. I know you said you're not afraid, but she's right here.
And Blessed, we're going to bring you on here. And,
come on, Blessed.
I know she's not afraid, but we're going to bring Blessed on here.
Hi, Commander.
Terry Bryant.
Hi, Teresa.
Hey, sweetheart.
And Terry, after I get done helping you, I get Terry Bryant. Terry, stick around. He was visited when he at 8 years old. I want to find out about his story. So, Blessed, you've seen me do what I do with people here,
Yes.
which is relatively new. I'd like to do it for you. I know that you have a lot of light energy in you. I can tell you do. But I want to, you see, the cosmic dream state is a funny thing. That's where interactions, when we call it cosmic dreams, in a sense, that's a reality state. It's not really a dream. I've told other people this. And when I've done the work with them, they don't have any more problems.
Commander, can I just tell you, I only have one memory, and I was like 13.
Oh, 13?
Yeah, and I haven't ever had any since, but I've always had a lot of dreams about UFOs chasing me and things like that. But when I was 13, it was like I said, I don't know if it was a dream or it was real, but it was 3 a.m, and I was laying in my bed, and I became paralyzed, and I was totally in fear. And I looked over to my window, because back in those days, we had those pull shades, the ones that you pulled up and down that rolled. And I had it was down, but I could see the outline of 3 tiny beings, and a light was shining behind them in my backyard. and I was filled with fear. So I was laying there and I didn't know what to think, but they didn't enter my room. So I all of a sudden I just found this courage came inside of me, and I was just like, you cannot be here, you cannot take me, I will not let you, and neither will the creator. And within a minute there was like this flash of light and they were gone. And I was never
Wow.
and I was never bothered again. I never had dreams like that except for one where I was running in my house and these teeny tiny little UFOs were chasing me and trying to shoot me with lasers. But
Yeah.
after that,
So
I was fine. I never had any more again. But again, I've always had a fascination with, the cosmos, the stars, sci-fi movies, and all those
oh
things. And I've
yeah.
always felt a connection to something more than what's here.
Yeah. I'm there. While we're at it here, we have let's see here. Terry Bryant has 104 followers. So Terry, if you go out and switch your setting to public, you can also come up here and tell us about your contactee experience when you think it was like 8 years old. Let me see here. Then there's also another person here. D. Boone says, I need help. He said it earlier. We are very aware of all the comments in here. We just, we're not ignoring you. No one's trying to ignore you. Need to tell us a little bit about what your situation is. D. Boone, tell us have you been abducted? What's going on? Let's see here.
So, Commander, do you think they were trying to contact me, the Zetas?
I don't know if they were trying to contact you, but whoever they were, they obviously decided not to do anything and they left.
Right, they did.
So I don't think you have anything to worry about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your energy
That was
your energy is very good. I don't think I don't think you have anything to worry about. You have the ability to protect yourself.
Yes.
I think they realized that whoever they were, they obviously left because you do have that energy about you. It's apparent when you speak to somebody, when you hear your voice, your vibrational patterns are a lot stronger. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Actually, Kai said that she was told that I came from the Orpheum angelic lineage, which really resonated with me, as well as the Lyrans. I feel like I'm very cat-like, and I'm a warrior. I have been that way my entire life. Even as a small child, I have been very strong in my soul, and I fight for everyone. And I definitely feel like I'm here for that.
Mm-hmm. Listen to this. D. Boone says, I've been in a room with one green being behind a podium, and tall skinny grays took a blonde girl. All right.
Yeah, it's
So
like they like kids.
that might
That's
be a person.
what
That
they
person
did.
that's probably what the person needs help about. So we're going to bring them up here. D. Boone, they'll be our last person up here for the night. If I can get them up here. You got to be over 18. And you got no kids on the show, no vaping, no smoking, no drinking, no cursing, no paranormal discussion, no politics, no religion. I think I covered all the bases of the show here. I'm CmdrAleon, the host of the show. I'm also host of WESU's NPR radio show, Cosmic Eye Radio, and we're going to see if I can bring this person up. And they will join us here.
Me and Bliss will be the flight attendants.
Yes, you will be. And we'll try to help this person out. D. Boone. Hey, D. Boone, good evening, or good morning, I should say. So it's like 1:10 in the morning. So welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Good morning. And I've been reading your story here, which gives me a better indication as to why you needed to get some help here. So when did this start happening?
This was about 2001.
2001. Before that, you didn't have this happen, correct?
No, not like this.
Okay. So you've had, there's not really, people use the word grays, but there's Zeta Reticuli, the Zeta. You had visitations from the Zeta?
Well, like I said, there was one green one that was behind like a podium, and he was different than all the other ones. And I didn't see the other ones until they walked past me. Two real tall, skinny grays with like long banana heads was walking this drugged up looking blonde girl over to a chair, and they sat her in the chair, and one walked away, and the one that stayed there did something with his hands, and it's like light came out of his hands or her body, and she fell asleep right when this happened. And then the green one just snapped his head over to me and started staring at me, and that's all I can remember is he stared at me forever.
So, well, this blonde girl, where were you when this happened? Were you in a physical place somewhere?
Well, I had my back up against a wall, and it was like a hospital room, it seemed like, and the blonde girl came from my right side, and like she came from my right side, but she kept going straight. And then where the chair started, they like went down a hallway to the right, but I can only see the first 4 stalls.
Do you think that the environment was made to look like a regular Earth environment in the physical environment, but you were actually not, like, essentially maybe you were on a spaceship?
Yeah, I don't know how I got there or what it like. Yeah, it could be anything.
Right. Well, they can make an environment look like you're not on a spaceship, but the fact that you had these 3 Zeta beings, one that was greenish colored and the other 2 tall, skinny ones, I get the feeling that it's like a holodeck. They created an environment looking like you're in some sort of a room, but if they were to really show you where you were, you're probably on some sort of a spaceship.
So how do you know that they were Zetas?
Zetas, because what grays are Zetas. People, you always use the term on the show, grays. I have to educate the public about the terminology. The word gray has been created on the internet, but they are called Zeta Reticuli. Did they have like big eyes and like a roundish, skinny, like a round head and a skinny body?
Well, the green one did, but the gray ones weren't even really gray. They were like a real pale color. They kind of like Roger the Alien, but real skinny and tall off American Dad. Kind of
Right,
like
but
that.
what about the head, like the eyes? What did they look like?
I kind of seen them from behind, but they just had like banana shaped heads. Like the back of their heads were real long and kind of.
Well, that's interesting. They're different, definitely different for sure. So obviously they were not positive. They were doing something that was against this woman's will. And somehow, how'd you get entangled with being on this thing with this other woman there?
I don't know.
What was that all about?
I don't know at all. I just remember sitting there in the fetal position. And it was like I was next in line.
Mm-hmm. So they might have had more than one person from Earth that they abducted onto their vessel, their ship.
Yeah.
You
One
wouldn't
girl.
know that because you only saw that one girl, correct?
It was just one girl I seen.
Interesting story. And now, since that time, have you had any other experiences where they interacted with you, these beings?
Not in particular beings, but I did see a star in the sky. It stopped, and I could tell it was looking at me, and it like stayed there for a while, and then like a dull red beam shot out of it, and then the full moon dropped in the view, like really weird. It didn't just slowly come in. The full moon just dropped in the view.
Interesting. Well, I appreciate you coming on here, man, and sharing it. I have to mull that over in my thoughts. And I mean, unless you're having any more problems, let me know. But if it only happened once, the one thing I would recommend you do is always you meditate and go within and just put a protection around you. What you can do is just simply put an not imaginary, but a protection of light, a bubble of light around you, and just tell yourself that I'm a Christed human being of light, and I'm now putting protection around me so no other negative lower vibrational ETs can connect with me ever. And if you do that, practice that as a mantra in a way, I think that'll prevent any more interactions like that. So thank goodness you haven't had any more interactions like that, but I think that'll help quite a bit.
All right, thank you, man.
All right, T-Boone, thanks for coming up here and sharing the story. I appreciate it.
Have a good one.
You too.
Commander, if you
yes.
remember if you remember, like around probably, I'm gonna say like 6 to 7 months ago, you did a live where a woman came up and she was describing what he kind of described, like the banana kind of loop kind of head.
Yeah, the head. Yeah, I remember that.
And I
I
can't
still,
remember
I still haven't
what
figured out who they are. Totally.
are they, maybe like a something new, or is this something that finally
It could.
is
It
showing
could
itself?
be.
But
Well,
they, even what she said, they were not good.
yeah, they weren't. They could be part of the Zeta family in the Zeta Reticuli system. There are different types of Zeta. They could be part of that. You know.
Yeah, he's lucky he didn't, because from what I remember that woman saying is it was all bad what they were doing to her. Not a metal table, but it was like an operating room. So
Yeah.
maybe if he once he seen them, maybe he was lucky, because
Yeah.
what she described was bad.
Yeah.
So
No,
that
I
that
got
guy's
you.
lucky.
He is lucky. And it says he hasn't any. It says I remember them drilling my. Oh, so they did stuff to him. So they were drilling your belly button. That's not good.
The
Deepa,
lady
we'll have
said
to have
the
you.
same thing.
We're gonna have to do some energy work. Not tonight. Maybe tomorrow night, Deepa, and we'll have you back on, and we'll do some energy work. And I'll be activated in my Astro Command mode.
Yeah, he definitely needs that.
Yeah.
But he
Oh yeah.
just said literally.
Yeah. See, I didn't know
She
that
said
part
the
of the
same
story.
thing.
Well, we'll
Yeah,
definitely
he
work on
just
Deep
said
Boon.
that.
Yeah, well, Deep Boon, we'll have you on if you're around tomorrow night. We'll bring you up and we'll do some cosmic work here to potentially they might have abducted or they might have done an implant. I don't know what happened, but we'll definitely help you out. Hey, Teresa Ann and Blessed Mom and everybody, it's time for the commander to say goodnight. It's still about 18 minutes after 1. So this
He
show
needs
will
his
be on
beauty
my...
sleep.
Yeah, definitely. You need to get that beauty sleep. And then this program will be on my YouTube channel. Thank you, Jennifer, for the roses. Astro Command Spaceship News. You can watch all my previous shows on that channel. Blessed Mom and Teresa, have a great night. We'll see you again tomorrow night
You
with a
too.
show on
Bye,
Easter.
everybody. Have a good night.
All right, take care, everybody.
I'll talk to
Love
you.
you,
Bless.
Star
Bye.
Family.
Bye.
Let me just do this here. Let's see, is this going to work? There we go. And we'll do this here. All right, take care. All right, folks, that does it for me, man. It's been a long night. And hey, good last, no problem. I'm saying Christed like CHRIST, Christed. That's right. Jackie Red, thank you for the heart me. And we'll do if you want to do any last minute gifting, Blessed Mom, thank you for the tiny Deanie. We appreciate all the gifts. And how am I doing on the hats? I have Tahar. 4 hats have been taken. I need to get all the hats taken. Amity, thank you for the chili. Rubio, thank you for the heart. You know, I'm a hat kind of guy. I feel very, there's no hat. I need a hat. Karen 82, welcome. I need approximately 4 more hats to be taken, or actually just enough so I want to wear a hat to sleep tonight. And I'd like to have a mustache, but I don't. You know what I mean. Rubio, thank you for the roses. And we're going to call it a night, folks. Thanks, everybody, for your gifts, your time. We got 115,000. Good last Tahar, always. Paranormal. Sonia, Tahar to you, too. And I'm at 50%. How many hats do I have left? 6 more hats? Oh, man, I'll be on all night to get those 6 hats. I'm going to have to be on here all night just to get 6 hats. There's got to be a better way of doing this. Brianna, Tahar, thank you. Oh, at least 7 hats. Good last, thank you. I forgot 8 hats. Tahar. Deborah Tahar to you too. Manessa Tahar. Okay, did we do it? I'm only at 80%. What's going on here? I need Karen 82. Thank you. Tahar to you, Karen. I'm going to have Tahar dreams tonight when I go to sleep. I have one more hat to go. I think I'm going to have some dreams about Tahar tonight. I can't prove it, but I believe I have one more hat left. It says there, 11 of 12 hats. You mean to tell me that one hat's just sitting on the shelf and no one's taken the hat yet? Can't believe it. Good last, Tahar, Karen 82, Tahar. Brianna, Tahar. Man, I'm over my 12 hats. Thank you. Tahar again. Okay. May you all be blessed. Yeah, Terry, tomorrow night we want to hear your abduction story. I know you've been on twice, and we'll definitely have you on for sure. Good to see you, Terry, as well. Everybody, have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is a Tuesday. And Cole, take care. Blessings to you. Calico Girl, everybody. Thank you very much. We see you later.